Dzień dobry, witam Państwa serdecznie na 60. Krakowskim Festiwalu Filmowym, który się odbywa online w tym roku. Za chwileczkę Państwo usłyszycie fascynującą zapewne rozmowę z jednym z reżyserów z naszego filmu konkursowego. A ja Was zapraszam bardzo do oglądania wszystkich naszych filmów i brania udziału w naszych Q&A-ach. Witam serdecznie Artura Zaborskiego, który poprowadzi tę rozmowę. Hello Federico. Nice to see you here at Krakow Film Festival. Congratulations of having a film in the competition program. And are you now in Uruguay? Yes.
Yes, I am in my house in Uruguay.
Okay. What time is it? What time is it?
It's 20 past 8 in the morning.
Okay, early. Okay, so have a good conversation now and see you at other screenings and at other Q&As. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for everything.
Okay, so Federico, as we said, I start with some questions. We have also the audience that is involved. They can send us the question and I will definitely ask them to you. But I would like to start with the question about Antonio, because it's not the first time that actually you were filming together. He was the protagonist as well in your previous film in Clever. Could you tell us how did you guys met, how the beginning of your cooperation looked like?
Yes, of course. When we were, our previous film is a fiction, an absurd comedy, nothing to do with this film in that sense. And we shoot it at the end of 2013, and it's a movie that was premiered in 2015. So we met Antonio when we were doing the casting for the shooting in 2013. That was 3 years before we started shooting his life in his hometown. So we were looking for an actor. In this case, it wasn't an actor. It was a person that could interpret a fictional character that we wrote, which was this big muscle man that had a sensitive soul, and he had an approach with art. He was a painter who mainly painted cars and personalized cars, you know. So when we were looking for that actor, we met Antonio, and we were like really amazed by him, and then he came up with this thing that he played the piano, which we never would have written that in a script. But as he came with this, we could put a scene in the fiction also where he played the piano, because it was really coherent with the personality we were building up in fiction. And by working with him, we started finding out that the real man behind this character was even more interesting than the character we were writing in the script. So slowly we started.
You decided that actually you want to make a documentary about film. That was the moment that you decided to put the camera into the real Antonio.
No, that wasn't exactly like that. It's probably where the seed is planted, you know, because we were really amazed with him, but we never thought of filming him. We just started really thinking of filming him after we showed this film after 2015. We were looking for a new project. We wanted to work together with Guillermo again. We were trying to write scripts. We didn't have any ideas that were really motivational at that time, and we were speaking, and one day we say, why don't we go and talk with Antonio? Maybe he wants us to shoot him to shoot a film about him, and maybe we were just spoke about that, and that idea immediately started growing in our heads, and we just gave him a call, and we never lost contact with him. in those 3 years. So we just went to visit him. He lived in a little town in the countryside, which was like 200 kilometers from our city. So we just went one day. We went with a camera. We did some interviews with him, and he was like really excited about the idea, really excited. We just told him, okay, let's try this on. Let's see if we all feel good about it, if there's a movie here. And very quickly this thing started happening, and we just presented the project to the Film Institute, and we got some funding really quickly. So it was like a really quick process, and also everything was quickly. The end of the process too was everything went like really fast, and it was really hard, in that sense.
But did you know from the very beginning what is the health condition of Antonio? Did you know that actually he has some issues, or was it something that actually he was hiding, or maybe he didn't even know about?
We knew he had some issues with his kidneys, because he would talk about it frequently. We didn't know how serious it was, and we are not sure if he knew how serious it was. We do know that it was something that it wouldn't let him compete professionally again, because it would be too risky. And we also knew that he didn't want to lose his muscles, so he wouldn't go and try to compete again professionally, because he knew it was too risky, but he wouldn't give up to being the way he was physically, which was really important for him. And he didn't want to get like traditional treatments like dialysis or a transplant. He didn't want that. So kind of knew that might end his life, but he didn't know when. And it was gonna be like really later in life, like it's how he puts it in the movie, like, I know I'm gonna die. Maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 20, but I think no one saw it coming, not even him. And of course, we didn't saw that coming. But he probably knew more than he would talk about it,
But did you ever have that feeling that actually he decided to make that film, that he wanted to be part of this project because he wanted to leave some kind of trace of his life, some kind of heritage, some kind of like testimony for the other people with your film?
Yeah, that's that feeling. Yes, and it was kind of a motivation for all of us, but we never thought that he would die so quickly, and that would happen in the middle of the process of shooting the film. If you ask us what ending we imagined for the film, it was the father and the son traveling to Mexico and looking for a new life there. That was the end that we would imagine in when it was a project, but we knew there was like this conflict, that he was a champion of the world 10 years ago, and that now he couldn't compete because of a health issue. So we knew that, but not more.
But actually, I was pretty curious, how is it possible that he was the champion of the world? He had such a great position, and after such a short amount of time, he was like completely forgotten. I love the scene in which he's getting his socks from these boxes with sports nutritions, but I think it's so symbolic for that film. So I was just so curious, like how the people could forget about him so quickly.
I'm not sure how that happens. I know that the titles he achieved are not the Mr. Olympia, that it's like the major leagues of bodybuilding. which really make you a star worldwide. Okay, so he got to be a champion of the world in other kind of federation, which is really difficult to achieve. But it doesn't give you world fame, you know. So he got this kind of recognition, and that he wanted the possibility to go and live in Mexico, and live from bodybuilding for like 5 years, and then he kind of started retiring slowly and came back to Uruguay, and then he started like coaching other people, giving conferences about the use of nutrition and pharmacology in sports. I think that he was remembered in Mexico in his own environment, and here in Uruguay he kind of had like a difficult relationship with the federation, which is another story, you know.
And I am absolutely a fan of the conversations between father and the son. I was just curious if it's something that actually was happening completely naturally when you were there with the camera, or was it something that they needed a time to be okay with the fact that actually you are around? Is this something that was very intimate for them, or is it something that actually they are open and they didn't care that you are around and filming because they just talk like that?
As I said, it takes time for you to get to that intimacy, and that people open themselves in that way. They were really open people, you know, and they had this open relationship, and passionate. But as I said, we knew Antonio for some years. He trusted us a lot, so his son quickly started, you know, had that trust for us also. And they were like really our partners, you know. They were making a movie with us, so it's like they were willing to give us something, you know, to and that argument, that scene, that is maybe one of the most powerful scenes, that they argue really with a lot of energy. It was something that was really spontaneous. It just happened. So we were filming there for hours before, because as we lived far away from them, we went there like for 2 or 3 days, and then we left and come back later, like 2 weeks later, and stayed 2 or 3 days more. But those 2 or 3 days we were living in the house next to their house. So we woke up and we went when we were with them all day. We ate together with them. We were really together all day long, from the morning till we went to bed, with the camera not always on, of course, but we were there all day, and we just put the camera on when we felt it was worth it. But maybe they didn't know, you know. Sometimes they did, sometimes they don't, because that just started being something, a natural way of living together, from them with us, you know.
And what was the reaction of the son for your film? Did he took part in editing, or did you have to authorize the effect with him, or he stayed out of it?
No, he watched the film when it was finished, but we knew, you know, we knew what we could do and what we couldn't do. We knew Antonio a lot, so the thing was, we were kind of not the word, it wouldn't be afraid, but we were kind of we had really a high, a big expectation of what would be his emotional reaction to the film when he watched it, and it was really good. He was really thankful and emotional, and he really liked the film, you know. And also all of his family, you know. I was talking to her sister some days ago, she was telling me that they felt that we really captured the true essence of him, so that his family tells that to us. It's really relieving, like really nice, because it was what we try to do. We try to be honest, to make a good film, to capture the essence, and not trying to hide anything, like trying to put the truth there in a human way. And you don't know what is going to be the reaction of the people that are close to him, because it's not it's a strong movie, it's a moving movie. So it's really nice to see that they really understood the film in that way, so we feel like really good with that.
And did Antonio, during his life, did he have the chance to see any of the footage that actually you shoot, or was it something that actually he didn't, he wasn't interested in?
No, he did. When we presented the project to the funds, to get some money to make it in a more professional way, we edited like 20 minutes with material from the first months of shooting, when it was a part of the shooting, that we called it investigation. But many of that footage is in the movie, because we had a lot less material than we were planning to shoot for another year, so Antonio could watch 20 minutes that had, the essence of the film, like our look about him. And it was something that we didn't want to do at that time, because we were afraid that he got too conscious of what we were doing, and that we would lose some truth. But he really insisted in watching it, so we just showed it to him, and he was really emotional about it. He cried. He told us some really strong things. He was really thankful. He said that it was like really something important to him to live this, to live a movie. To be. He said, now I'm immortalized. It was something that it was really important to him. So that's one of the reasons that when he died, we didn't doubt that we had to make the film, to finish it, even though we didn't know at that time if we really had a full-length film. But we would say, okay, let's wait till we are emotionally ready to edit this film, but we have to do something with this material. We can't leave it here. We didn't know what we were gonna be able to do, but we decided like really quickly that we had to do something with it, because we knew that he would have liked to, and we also do. But when at that time, when that happened, when he died, it was like really difficult to think clearly, because we were like really shocked.
This is a really incredible side of Antonio, the fact how easily he was talking about his emotions, the fact that he admitted easily that he's crying when he's watching Rocky IV. It's really incredible. I was so curious how it's even possible that such a sensitive, emotional person becomes a bodybuilder. Can you tell us a little bit about his history, how it happened that actually he decided to go in this direction?
Well, I personally really don't know how you, but I guess it's something that it's evolves like little by little. Like, I don't know really how I came up to make movies also. But he says that he started when he watched Rocky 1, that film really inspired him, and he started lifting weights and in a town, and I think he was like a really epic character, you know. He wanted his life to have epic, and he found in bodybuilding that I think he could have found that in any other activity, you know, but it was bodybuilding. I'm not sure why, but he was really passionate about the body and the muscles, and when he talks about it, it's like when you're watching like an artist to speak about what he does, you know. It was like he's talking about sculpting bodies, and I don't know, it's like you really understand that feeling of passion, you know. But it's like you're listening to something that is like he was talking about music or cinema. He's talking about bodies, you know.
Yeah.
Don't you get that feeling when you
I was absolutely in love with the conversations that father and the son have. I loved the moment when Antonio is explaining what is his definition of masculinity for him. In Poland, I think that kind of conversation wouldn't be possible, like maybe not possible, but wouldn't be so often. So I was just curious if it's something that actually male people in Uruguay talks about easily, or is this something very specific for the relationship that Antonio has with his son?
Well, I think the Antonio would speak out what he thought, and wouldn't care about the consequences very much. But he was really conscious, you know. I think I don't know if it's something usual or not. I think the way they put it, and how they do it, it's pretty special.
I have some questions from the audience. The first question is from Gosia. Gosia asks, can you tell us something more about relation of Antonio and Juano's mother?
Antonio, yes. Well, they had a relationship. I mean, the son was their bond, and then and they spoke. I mean, they had. I think their problems were in another time, and I don't know. We really the film doesn't go a lot about that. And Juanjo's mother, it's like she lived in another city by that time, so we just were worried about that the audience of the film knew that this mother figure was there, because it's really something important for the ending of the film, because you get the feeling that, okay, Juanjo won't be alone, you know. At least you have that information. But we never tried to focus on that relationship, because it was clear that it's going to be out of the movie. So we don't have a lot of information about that. I mean, they divorced a lot of years ago, and they spoke in the phone of issues that concerned their son. You know, normal. What I could see was normal conversations between them about their son. You know. But they didn't see each other, you know.
Mm-hmm. And Pavel asks, was your film inspired by Aronofsky's The Wrestler, as it's the favorite film of main character?
Well, I guess the favorite film of Antonio was Rocky, but he really liked also The Wrestler. No, it was not inspired by that, but we knew from the beginning that the main conflict of the character was similar to the conflict of Aronofsky's film. And when we talked about that film with Antonio, he had watched it, and he told us that he felt like really identified with Mickey Rourke's character. So that conversation was important, because by that we knew that Antonio had the consciousness of his situation, and that our look of his conflict was also was the same he had. You know, he was really conscious that he was a character that had bright some years ago, and that now he was, having to deal with daily life in another way, not in a way that a star would deal with it.
And when you were watching Antonio, when you were talking to him, and you saw what is the impact of the films on him, what is the impact of The Wrestler, what is the impact of Rocky, did it change anyhow your way of thinking about the film? Did it change anyhow the awareness that actually film is such a powerful form of art and can shape so many people?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's nice to see how some people connect in that way with films. It's nice. Yeah, but it didn't change. But because I know people that really feel that way about movies. But he probably was one of the of the persons that I knew that were got most involved emotionally, because he kind of lived his life like a fiction. He had his character, he built up himself, in many ways, and that epic story he would tell about him. He would tell stories about him going to Lithuania. It was really cold, and he would describe to you, his bodybuilding adventures in a really epic and fictional way.
But do you think all of these stories that they were true, or did he try to make it bigger than actually they were?
No, I think it was like his true. I don't know. I don't catch the word in English. Like how he lived it.
Mhm.
I think it was true, but it had his own look and his own feelings put there, which, like every story we tell, even though it's a documentary, it has you shape it from your own eyes, and your own feelings. So.
Yeah, that's true. We have a question from Agnieszka. Agnieszka asks, what what Juano is doing right now? What did he think about the film?
Well, he really liked the film, and he also liked to be on a film. He watched it more than one time, I think 2 or 3 times. We shared some projections with him in Uruguay and talked to people with him too. And now he's in another town near Cardona. He went to live with his mother, and then he moved to live by himself, first with a friend, and now he's renting a room in another house. He's reaching his independence right now, and his mother is like really close to where he lives. He lives in the same city of his mother, and he has a girlfriend too. We met her when we were because we showed the film in his city, and it also in Cardona where we shoot, which was like a really nice moment. So we have contact with him mainly by phone, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
But can you tell that actually that you can see that his son is getting more and more like Antonio? Can you see that he's becoming more like his father was?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. He's surely not involved in bodybuilding, but I don't know. He has many things in common with his father, but he has his own personality. He's a different person.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, our time is running out. So, Federico, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for answering all of these questions and for making this wonderful film. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to talk to our guests, Federico Borgia, the director of the film The Champion of the World. We still have 2 ongoing projections, 2 screenings of this film in the future. So please share this information with your friend if you enjoyed the film of Federico. Thank you so much, Federico. Have a wonderful day and hopefully see you in
Thank you.
next year.
Thank you very much, Arthur, and thanks for the festival for inviting the film and to the audience. And okay, I hope you enjoy the film. So okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.